The following is a Podbeard production.
EST 2016. This is
Interviews, music reviews, opinions, and more.
This is The Hotter Show.
What is up, everybody? We are rolling audio here today on episode 224 of The Hotter Show, a full return to form. After a full month, I am back behind my actual microphone in the brand new and improved Hotter Show studios, and I am absolutely psyched to be here today. Got some new intro happening for you here, courtesy of my man Brandon Bowden at Bowden Productions. Thank you very much for that, my man. And thank you very much for tuning in. I hit that play button. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. I have a kick-ass episode for you here today, as I try to every single week here on The Harder Show, especially now that we're back after a month. I am going to be doing a full review and playing you guys the tracks off my boys in DEADTHRONE, their brand new album that came out a few weeks back called Premonitions. Now, it's a banger. If you are a fan of kind of more melodic metalcore, you're going to really dig it. If you're not a big fan of metalcore, honestly, I think you may even dig it, because there's a lot of, it's very accessible metalcore, meaning that, you know, there's a lot of clean vocals in it. There's a lot of great harmonies in it. It's just kick-ass, and I know you guys are going to enjoy the hell out of it. If you have not heard of DEADTHRONE before, oh my god, you guys are in for a treat, because they are badass and you do not want to sleep on them. But before I get into that, a couple things I want to talk about. Number one, thank you everybody so very much from the bottom of my heart for their support on last week's episode of the show, my return, my comeback episode. Don't call it a comeback. That was fun. It was fun to shake the cobwebs off. This is kind of the more official return, you know, with the new music, and I'm actually, you know, in my studio, as I said earlier, and that was a lot of fun. That was actually recorded in my car, so it wasn't recorded the normal way, and it was kind of a bit of a pain in the butt to get uploaded and everything, but I didn't want to go another week without something, as I said on that episode. And as far as those who hit me up saying that the rap in the beginning they really enjoyed, thank you very much for that, because that was just something I did for fun as a joke. And the amount of people who've actually hit me up and were like, dude, like, that was actually really sick. I'm like, that's cool, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do, because that was a lot of work. And I have a whole newfound respect for rappers. And for, you know, I already had all the respect in the world for musicians, but trying to cut, I think it was maybe a minute or so of like an actual vocal track, that was a pain in the ass. I hadn't done that in a very long time. So thank you guys, though, very much. I do appreciate that, and I hope that you enjoyed the episode itself. And, you know, me ranting about this whole Post Malone, Ozzy Osbourne thing. I had a few people hit me up saying that they agreed with me and think that this whole music elitism thing is kind of getting a little out of hand, and how that's a good example of it. But well, we're not going to get into that today, because we have a full album to play for you, so I'm not going to take up too much more time in this intro. But the only other thing I want to talk about, excuse me, this is very important, so please take note of this. I have been plugging an app on this podcast called Podcoin now for it's been a few months, and it's a great app, and it is an app that I fully stood behind and that I personally used. However, as of early next week, the app will be closing down, and that's a major bummer. I really enjoyed the Podcoin app. I think it was a great idea. I think that people who weren't using it were really honestly missing a huge opportunity. You know, I got some Amazon codes out of it, so hey, you know, I got something out of it. And honestly, they played a huge part, that app and that community, in me hitting my 1,000 downloads in a week for the first time ever about a month back. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to them, David, who is the founder, and the whole crew over there at Podcoin. Thank you guys very much for the support, and you know, I wish you guys all well in your future endeavors. Hopefully we can see you guys maybe come out with something else, you know. I don't know if you guys will hear this, but I'm going to send them a little email because I really feel strongly that they were good. It was a great app, and that, you know, it deserved a lot more recognition because it was really cool what they were trying to do, and they, you know, they were trying to help out the little guys too. So I do appreciate it, and yeah, just want to say my piece about that. So if you do use the Podcoin app, again, that app will be pulled down as of September 24th. So we'll have to find another way to listen to this podcast if you're on the Podcoin. Me personally, I'm probably just going to go back to listening to Spotify because they've made a lot of changes lately as far as, you know, with their podcast format and how you can listen to podcasts and everything. And they have it set up really nicely now where it's like the interfaces. You have like your music and your podcast. And so I'm a big fan of that. So I'll probably go back to listening on Spotify, which of course you can find the show on Spotify as well as iTunes, or excuse me, not iTunes. I still call it iTunes. That's how long I've been doing this. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. You of course can find us on the YouTube as well. And of course on SoundCloud, all of which is absolutely free, as well as on podbeannetwork.com/The Harder Show to listen on any browser. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a follow, leave a like, comment, all that fun stuff. Check us out on the social media. We have Facebook and Instagram. I do also have Twitter, but I don't really use it anymore. So if you're on Twitter and you follow me, you ain't going to hear from me because I can't stand Twitter anymore. I kind of gave up on that. But let's get to the main attraction, the reason why you are most likely here today, and that is to hear DEADTHRONE's album Premonitions. Now, if you are not familiar with who DEADTHRONE are a melodic metalcore band from Manchester, England, over in the UK, and they are signed to Aspiring Empire. And in the band, we have Chris, who is the lead vocalist. He does the harsh vocals. We have James, who does the clean vocals as well as playing guitar. We have Sam, who plays guitar. And then we have Benj, I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly, my man, on the drums. Now, Krang, or Kerrang, not Kern. What did I say? I don't know. It's Kerrang, called this band, in their new album, a breath of fresh air in a genre that often feels oversaturated and stale. You can find them in this album literally anywhere you stream your music. So be sure to go and check it out after listening to it on this podcast. And you can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for DEADTHRONE. That's all one word, DEADTHRONE, DEADTHRONE. Give them a follow. Let them know that you were sent to them by ya boy here at The Harder Show. And as well as they do have a Big Cartel website, but it is currently under construction. But either way, I'll give you guys a link. It's deadthroneuk.bigcartel.com. So check it out. They're a great band. If you are listening to this from somewhere across the pond and you have a chance to see them live too, do it. They did do a live stream of them playing this album fully live for the first time. It was on Aspiring Empire's YouTube channel, so you can go check that out. I think they're going to upload it to their YouTube channel as well, which is just, again, DEADTHRONE. They have the full album stream up there as well, so keep an eye out for that. I'm not too sure if they actually have it up yet, as I still technically don't actually have internet. I'm not too sure. But either way, shout out to the guys. It's actually funny because I always love, I'll tell the story really quick before we get into the album, but as far as how I discovered these guys, because, you know, it's interesting seeing that they are from the UK and I am, you know, from a small town right here in Ontario, Canada. Well, now I'm not in the small town, but you know what I'm saying. I uploaded a picture one day to my Instagram. I think I was just playing guitar, and this dude randomly commented on it, like with a smiley face. And it was just kind of like, you know how like you'll like just comment on something randomly and you don't really think anything of it. And it was actually Sam, the guitar player. So I went on his page because that's how I always used to do things on Instagram. I don't do that anymore. You comment on my stuff now, basically, unless I know you or I know it's not kind of like a random comment. You know, I don't really tend to pay too much attention, which is terrible to say. On my personal account anyway, because I got all these random spam stuff and everything, and especially spam girls lately. Has anyone else noticed that? Lately, it's just been like, every day I get added by like 6 or 7 random like spam accounts that are all like girls, and they're like, hey baby, wink wink. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Anyway, I got off on a tangent there. So I ended up adding him, and just because like, he had a bunch of pictures of him playing guitar, and his band DEADTHRONE, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'll check him out. Maybe I can, get him on the show or something. And they kicked ass. They were a badass band, and basically the rest is history. I basically hit them up, and they were cool as hell. They sent me a copy of their first EP, and I really liked it. Their song Legacy is still like, that song's an absolute banger, and you can go check out that EP as well. I did do a review of it, and it is a badass EP, and they were the first band outside of not only Canada, but basically all of North America that I actually had had the pleasure of reviewing. And I will, for sure, be having Chris on the show. Him and I have been chatting a lot about this, and I think we've pretty much locked it down. I'm just waiting to have my internet up and running, and then we will for sure be chatting. So keep an eye out for that. I will keep you guys posted as we go, because I'm hoping within the next few weeks you should see something. I'm really hoping that's what comes out. But anyway, I have rambled on enough. You guys are here to listen to some kick-ass music. So, without further dudes, haha, you see what I did there? Sorry, I promise I'm not going to make any more lame jokes today. I will never promise that. We're going to jump into this record in its entirety. So again, if you guys have never listened to my Harder Show music reviews, what I do is I, talk a little bit about the band. Then I give you guys any links you might need and try and talk about, if there's anything the band wants me to talk about, I talk about and all that fun stuff. And then I play you guys each song off the EP or record, give my brief thoughts on it, or my super long-winded, elongated thoughts, depending on how I'm feeling that night. Sometimes I'll talk for 10 minutes after a song. Sometimes I'll talk for 10 seconds. You just never really know what you're going to get with me sometimes. And that's why, people say that they enjoy my reviews. But we're going to play each song, give you my thoughts, and we'll play the other song. And that's kind of how we do things here on the Harder Show music reviews. So we have quite a few songs to run through. We got 11 songs to run through. So I promise I'm not going to have super elongated 10-minute long talks after each song, or else we'll be here all night, even though some people have said to me in the past that they actually prefer the longer podcasts. So something to think about, I guess. But without further ado, we're going to jump into the first track right here, right now on the Harder Show. You're about to hear Premonitions in its entirety. Starting off with the first track, a absolute banger. Crank it up. This is Feel.
for what we've made. It feels like I am drowning now. You're pulling me under. I guess we're running out of time. This can't be the only way. The color bleeds out the sky. I forgot how to feel alive. I forgot how to feel alive.
Okay, so starting off the album with the actual first single that we were treated to from DEADTHRONE from this new album cycle, it is just the hookiest of hooky songs. I think it's definitely the song out of all 11 of them on the record that is the most, mainstream in a good way. It's very accessible, is I guess the right term. It's something that if you're not really a fan of like metalcore or metal, you might hear that song and like it. I showed that song to a few people who were not fans of metal, and aside from the fact that, the classic, oh my god, why is he screaming at me? I don't understand. They really liked it. They liked the chorus. They were like, man, what's that cool little like repeating voice thing? And that was cool, man. All of the that there's like a second when you turn on Feel and you kind of think like it establishes the melody right away. That kind of that that was horrible. I apologize for that. But that little voice going, it kind of repeats throughout the song. You kind of think that's going to be the melody, but then it throws you into a whole different one. When James comes in and then Chris comes in heavy as shit right after. It's, it's cool. There's one thing I like, and you're going to hear me say this a lot on this review, and it's a point I'm going to make a lot today, and that is kind of the dual vocals. There's tons of hooks going on here. It's kind of a perfect balance of their kind of old school sound that we came to know on the first EP, compared to a progression, if you will. And I definitely get that vibe from this whole record as well, where it's just, they've grown since the EP, and you can really hear that, and especially in Feel. It is a hell of an opener, and I cannot wait to share the rest of the album with you guys, just judging off of Feel, which I'm sure you enjoyed, because I know I really felt that song. I'm sorry, okay? Let myself down. Anyway, the next track that we're going to hear off Premonitions from DEADTHRONE is entitled Runaway. So crank it up and let's check it out.
I fly to get away.
Okay, damn. So that track again was Runaway, and the fact that we have two songs into this freaking album, and they easily could have both been lead singles. And again, to me, let me just be straight with you guys. As far as I'm concerned, every single track on this record, except for one, because it's like a little instrumental track, you'll hear that a little later, spoiler alert, they could be like lead singles. You know, there's a couple of them that are heavier, you know, than you know, Runaway and Feel, but they all have that in them. Instrumental Rise, holy crap, you know, the bringing the heat with the riffs. It's kind of what you would expect from a traditional metalcore band while still having a unique flair. Again, dueling harsh and clean vocals, which they pulled off beautifully in this song, just weaving in and out, kind of hitting the highest of highs. James just kills it, and then kind of bringing it down. You know, it's very classic kind of melodic metalcore, but one thing that really sets them apart from everyone else, honestly, is like James's voice is freaking badass, and he's a killer singer. But one thing that's really cool with Chris is the fact that, I don't know about you guys, but as a metal fan, I like kind of that more kind of a mid-range scream like what Chris has, because I find that I can really pinpoint what he's saying. I can understand what he's saying. He can, you know, he has a great range. He can go low and he can go high. He can do it all, and he can pitch his scream, which is something that's super impressive because a lot of guys can't do that. But it's super clean. You can hear exactly what he's saying. And, you know, they really show off vocal prowess in Runaway. So I very, very much enjoyed that song. And we're 2 songs in. I mean, holy crap, what? If it's any indication as to how good this freaking record is going to be, you should be pumped, because the next song that we have is just, it is another freaking banger. All these songs are bangers, and I can't wait. So crank it up. We're not going to waste any more time. Let's check out track 3 from Premonitions from DEADTHRONE. This is Revival.
I know how it feels to have nothing, lost without control, I'm feeling all alone. The panic that I feel is pulling me under. This is not the life that I want from me. Now I can see no way back from the light. I'm trapped in this hole, and I can see no light. I hope and pray that someone will find me and take me back to the life that I'm supposed to lead.
Okay, so now we're 3 songs in, and Revival was the second single. And it has this wicked badass video that you guys should really go check out. And just, holy shit, guys. Like, what do you want me to say? Honestly, what do you want me to say? It has everything in it that I love about DEADTHRONE. You know, they bring it with the riffs and the instrumentation and the grooves. They bring it with the cleans. They bring it with the heavy vocals. Everything you can freaking want from them, they bring. And, you know, when I first stumbled across the band Legacy, like I mentioned earlier, was a song that really drew me to them. And Revival kind of, it's like it's nothing like Legacy, but it kind of has that same vibe to me, where like, I hear it and I go, okay, this is different. This is really unique. This is something I've never heard before. This is something that I can't compare to anything else. You know, like you'll hear a band and you're like, oh, they sound like these guys, or oh, they sound like this, or oh, I can hear a Slipknot influence in there. I don't hear anything. You know, maybe it's because I'm not as schooled on, you know, metalcore, I guess, but like, it just sounds so unique to me. And, you know, there is such an accessibility for a song like Revival, where fans of all types of metalcore should dig the hell out of this song. And just coming in again, you know, kind of straight gut punch with the vocals, and then breaking into the soaring leads and clean vocals. This is badass. What more can you want? Kudos to the guys, because, you know, the music video as well is super badass. So whoever did the music video for them, I can't recall off the top of my head. I don't have it in my notes, but super badass. Check it out on their social media and their YouTube, because it is worth a watch, and all the guys look super cool in it. So what's not to like about that? Again, that was Revival. Badass. If I'm going to be honest, I think Revival is my favorite track on the record. Honestly, it's tied between this one and another one, but I think Revival's my favorite. I think I got to just give it to Revival, because it's a badass song. Just like the next song that we're going to hear in every single song on this record. The next song, ladies and gentlemen, off of DEADTHRONE's Premonitions, is called Time Won't Wait. So let's check it out.
This home is nothing without you.
Okay, so Time Won't Wait, definitely kind of a little more of some hard rock vibes in there. As far as instrumentation, badass riff, really, really dig it. Really cool hearing kind of a more, again, kind of a more rock vibe with that riff. Really, really dig it, kind of the pulsing, really dig it. And again, hearing Chris and James trade off vocals, it's like a match made in heaven, man. The harmonies, like, you know, the way Chris's voice fits so perfectly in with James's voice, when, you know, James is obviously, he's taking the high harmonies because, I mean, yeah, and Chris kind of sticks with the kind of lower, but they just, it blends so well together. I honestly get a vibe, and I might catch some heat for saying this, but I don't care. I get a vibe when I hear dual vocalists, especially in metal, when one person is kind of doing more of a harsher style and the other person's doing like a really nice clean style. I get Alice in Chains vibe, man. When you would hear Lane kind of really hit a rough, in a good way, note, and Jerry would kind of back him up on it, it was like on the higher note. It's just this really nice, subtle harmony that was like not super overpowering. They complemented each other so well, and I totally hear that and get that vibe from when Chris and James harmonize together. And, you know, like I said, I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for saying that, because there might be that one person out there, how dare you compare, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck off. I don't care. All right. Send your hate mail to my Twitter. See, that's funny because I don't check my Twitter. But anyway. But a super diverse song. Hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Now, the next track that I have here for you guys is Wide Awake. So crank it up. Let's check it out.
And I'm wide awake, and I still hear the voices in my head. It's like I'm trapped from the inside, and I just can't escape my mind. But you hold the key to release the pain inside of me. Break down the prison walls, I wanna see them fall.
I will escape from this. No one can seem to find the right words to say about this. I hope you won't understand the struggle I go through every time I open my eyes. Please to save me from myself.
So I was wide awake, and what's really cool about Wide Awake, man, is the fact that at this point I was, wasn't sure what to expect heading into the record, where I'm like, okay, we're a few songs in, are we going to get like some more blistering heaviness, or are we going to have kind of a nice mix? And really, Wide Awake's cool because it starts off with such a nice vocal part from James, and, then cutting in Chris coming in heavy, it's like, Jesus. And the guys kind of having that nice, really melodic instrumentation in the background. It's just, it's badass. And I really like the bridge part. It's very, like, and I say this in the most, like, serious, positive way, where it's very, like, it's very beautiful. It's a very pretty part. And it is just, it's something that lyrically, again, like I said, I've talked about this a bunch on the record, but I don't like to go into lyrical content, but I would be really curious to hear what the song is about, because lyrically it sounds like it's a really heavy song for the guys, and it's just a beautiful song, beautiful and angry. Beautiful and angry. That's a very interesting way of looking at it. But I hope that you guys enjoyed that track as much as I did. We're ready to roll into the next one. This next track I have here for you guys from DEADTHRONE's Premonitions is called Believe.
I want you to know it was never my intention to stand alone. This wave of madness is too much to overcome, and I'm in far too deep to find a cure. I take a look around and all I see are faces. I search for hours but I see no empty spaces. My eyes are open but I can't seem to find the signs. I need your guidance just to show what I should be. So many people but they can't seem to find me. So get ready for one hell of a fight. This is the game we all call life.
Man, okay, so just what I think, I kind of got it figured out. Okay, they're gonna go in like kind of a traditional metalcore, with a nice unique twist, bring in the melody, bring in the hooks. They throw freaking Believe at me, and I'm a fan of diversity in metal music. So, having some cool ambient stuff going on, having a little, heavy bass and drum action. I am for that. Holy crap, I'm for that. I was listening to this in my car actually when I was this particular song when it came on, and because I like to listen to songs a couple times over, and like I marked out huge. I was like, yo, what? And you hear that a couple times in this record, and it's still very ambient, but still then coming in with the heaviness and the riff, and holy crap, I dig it. And James's performance on this song too was just top notch, absolute top notch. Love the vocals. Kind of like a really, again, very raw and real, beautiful song that's still heavy as all hell in kind of a unique way, while still again having that diversity and that accessibility with a little bass and drum action happening. Someone who is not necessarily a metal fan would hear that and go, oh wait, I recognize that. That's like, I hear this on, the radio, that bass and drum style stuff, which for the record is okay to use in heavy music. It's cool. It's unique. Just like this whole record is and Believe is. And the next song that we're going to hear, which is entitled Hearts in Our Hands. And then afterwards, I'm going to take a little break to give a much needed shout out to someone who helped us make this show possible. But first, crank it up because we are going to hear Hearts in Our Hands.
And I won't give in. I know you're hurting like I am. It's like our hearts are in our hands. But I swear I'll make the change. I swear it'll never be the same again. I know you're hurting like I am.
I won't give in.
Hey, you listening? Yeah, you. Are you a business owner? Are you in a band? Are you some kind of a content creator? Do you need any kind of design work, whether it's t-shirts, logos, any banners for social media, maybe some mailers, some brochures, anything at all like that? Don't know who to go with? Well, I'm going to tell you who to go with right now. Go with my man, Mr. Jason Reese from Jaybird Digital Arts. He has done everything for the Harder Show pretty much from day one. All of my logos, my banners, all my t-shirts, anything you see was done by Jaybird Digital Arts. But don't just take my word for it. Go on his website today at www.jaybird.digitalarts. That's JAYBIRD digitalarts.com. Go to the gallery and check out all of his awesome and unique work. You will not find anyone that can make art and design work like this man. I guarantee it. And on top of that, he's going to work with you on price and we'll get it done for you as quickly as humanly possible. Because, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think he sleeps very much because he works really hard. So contact Jaybird Digital Arts today for a quote on your work. Be sure to let him know that your boy Hada sent you, and you give a little discount ski on his already great prices. And always remember that his business is not successful unless your business looks great. Contact Jaybird Digital Arts today. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that last track. Again, the song that you heard before my Jaybird Digital Arts spot was Hearts in Our Hands. Now, what is really interesting about Hearts in Our Hands is this is such a stupid observation, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. I was even debating on saying it because it's just so silly. But this is the first time in history, in all my time listening to this band, that I actually heard James's accent, like a little bit, in the beginning of Hearts in Our Hands. I don't know why I made such a stupid, like, little catch, but I'm, like, listening, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're from England. Oh, yeah. Okay. You hear a little bit of that Manchester accent in there, just a little bit. Just like I'm sure that they're saying, well, we hear your Canadian accent all the time, even though I don't have a Canadian accent, which is funny because I'm told all the time I do, and it's stupid. No, I don't know why the hell I came up with that, but I wanted to point it out because I thought it was just kind of interesting, and I always notice stupid stuff like that. But an absolute banger of a track. I don't like to dive into lyrical content much on my reviews, and I touch on this a little bit later too in the album, but I'm really curious about this song. I mean, I'm curious about all the songs, and when I have Chris on, I will certainly ask a little bit. But again, what more do you guys really want, man? Like, I kind of had a lot of expectations coming into this record. I really did, and I was like, man, I want to like it. I want to love it. I want it to be just badass. And, you know, we're halfway through the record, and every song has been a freaking banger, and Hearts in Our Hands is no different. You know, it's still fresh. You know, it brings the riffs, and vocally, again, they show everything they can do. You know, I do really want to pick Chris's brain on lyrical content. So, Chris, my man, if you're listening, which I hope you are, because I'm talking about your band. But I really want to pick your brain on these songs, because I would love to hear the story behind some of these. And, you know, Hearts in Our Hands really is one that stands out to me lyrically. So I would very much like to hear what maybe that song's about a little bit. But the next song that we are going to hear is, again, another freaking banger. What more did you expect from the boys in DEADTHRONE? This is Stand Your Ground. So let's crank it up and check it out.
Can you feel the weight on my shoulders? Lay behind these eyes. Sorry on stops and dreams that keep me being alive. Now all I ask is for the strength to fight one more time. So give a fuck about anyone else.
I survived. But now the tables have turned and you're all alone. This could be the end of the road. We'll stand tall together. I know what it's like to be lonely, but through the dark times I survived. But now the tables have turned and you're all alone. This could be the end of the road.
Stand tall together. I know what it's like to be lonely, but through the dark times I survived. Now the tables have turned and you're all alone. This could be the end of the road.
Epic freaking beginnings for Stand Your Ground, man. More crushing vocals from Chris, with the rest of the guys kind of laying down some cool covering fire, heading into, again, a super hooky, soaring chorus. More dueling vocals from Chris and James, certainly another killer tune that shows off everything we've come to expect from DEADTHRONE and this record, Premonitions. And do not even get me started on that bridge. Mwah. Beautiful poetry. And, you know, they still surprise me, man, with the melodies. Kind of beautiful yet haunting. You know, like James has got such a great singing voice. It's unique while still, again, I've said this probably 100 times already tonight, today, whenever you listen to this. I don't like to say things like that, you know, because you could be listening to this at 2 a.m. You could listen to this at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know. Either way, thank you for listening. And it's just, you know, kind of beautiful yet haunting is the best way to explain it. And, you know, Chris's voice is Chris's voice is great too, but also James's voice, is so... It's clean and it's very beautiful. He's a very beautiful singing voice, while still kind of having some balls there. You know, it's not like it's all pristine pretty. Like he's got some, you know, some raw guttural power happening there with his voice, and you kind of hear that a little bit in Stand Your Ground. So I really dig that. And anytime that I can get to hear them harmonize, it's a good freaking day. Okay, so I'm a big fan of it. Now, the next 2 songs that we're actually going to hear are ones that I'm playing together because, in my opinion, they just have to go together. There's no other way around it. One of which is kind of like a quick little instrumental leading into the next song. So the first thing that you're going to hear is called Respite, which is kind of a little instrumental thing, which is really cool. I dig it. And then you guys are going to hear the next song called Soothslayer. So crank it up. Let's check both of them out right now.
darkened night till behind our eyes. This is the faceless generation. We're blinded by the lights, wanting to be light. This is the voiceless generation. Is there someone out there, lost in the unknown? A signal from the distance, a sign I'm not alone. Open my eyes so I can see what I'm missing. So this is what we become. This world is unforgivable.
Okay, I said it earlier. I'm a big fan of the heavy as hell drum and bass happening, and kind of some little creepy ambient stuff heading going on. I'm a fan of Respite, man. I'm a fan of that. That was really cool, because you could just like tack that minute-long intro onto Sue Slayer, but it's like, nah, like it's a nice little break in the record, and I really dig that. I dig when bands do that. They have like this nice little instrumental that kind of gives you a little break, kind of chills you out for a minute, and then banger, absolute banger, which of course was the beast of a song, Sue Slayer, which, you know how I said earlier that I think Revival's my favorite song? Well, this is the other one that I think is in very close contingency for number one. And after listening to it again, actually, I don't know, man. I really dig Sue Slayer. Kind of a bit of a departure with some of the other stuff on the record. Kind of a little more melodic, some cleaner melodies happening, and music that's kind of a little more melodic. And I really dig that. You know, getting into Dead Throne, I always wanted to hear them explore this side of their sound a little more. Kind of some more like cleaner guitars, really clean melodies, even with what Chris is doing with his, you know, his harsh vocals is kind of a little more clean, and they've really perfected that on Premonitions on this record. They've really perfected it, and again, the dueling vocals, you know, still fresh, and still, it doesn't sound like, oh, look, here's another harmony. It's like, no, it's like, oh shit, here's another harmony. It's like a good thing. Where it's like, you're just like, shit, like, man, the harmony in the chorus, perfect. Like what I wanted to hear. You know, I was saying earlier how I compared Christian James to Lane and Jerry Cantrell, that I'm going to probably get a lot of flack for saying, which I think is ridiculous, but that's just, you know, the world sometimes. Man, this song really made that stand out for me. I was like, just frig, these guys sound so good together. I think this is, Sue Slayer is, you know, James's voice at its best. I think that this song really shows off what he can do, aside from just being the, you know, quote unquote clean singing chorus guy. You know, he really shows off and brings a lot more to the table. Not that he's been doing that in this record at all. He's, you know, he sings some verses and stuff like that, and they have the dueling back and forth, but you really hear it on Sue Slayer, and I just think it's badass, massive track, just a beast of a song, and I really dug it. Just like I know you guys are going to dig the next track. It is the second last song on Dead Throne's Premonitions, which we've been checking out all day here on the show. I hope that you guys enjoyed as much as I did. I'm sad that we're starting to get to the end, but I'm hyped to talk about the next two songs. So crank it up. This is Beacons.
That was alive from the start. He built the wall.
So kind of some more experimental, unique guitar work leading into, again, another killer freaking song. And what was really cool about Beacons that stood out to me was you think you've kind of gotten Chris's voice figured out. You know, he can go high, he can go low. His strongest point's kind of that mid-range. And then he just like straight up has this like whole other voice that he just busts out randomly in this song. And I'm like, yo, where the fuck did that come from? I thought it was someone else. And it's like, I love when kind of like, I say harsh vocals just because that's just what I call it, kind of do that where they almost like find another voice inside them. It's kind of like he's talking, but he's like in his like screaming, quote unquote screaming voice. And it's cool as shit. And I really dug it. It gave me goosebumps. You know, a very groovy tune. I found myself kind of head bopping throughout, which is interesting because it's not like a super heavy song. Groove wise, it's not like it's very driving, but it's just very, the groove is there. And it's so, it kind of gets inside your head. And lyrically, again, sounds like a really interesting song. I'm not one to speculate on lyrical content, but a very cool story. And I dig this track. Mainly, I'm not going to lie, mainly for Chris's vocals. I think vocally, this is one of Chris's best performances on the record. Just because I think he kind of explores that kind of like quieter registry in his screaming, which is always cool because I think that, you know, with kind of the harsher metal vocalists, any one of them can like, you know, kind of scream loudly at you and stuff. It's, can you like kind of really find that low registry in your voice and really like just sound cool as hell, you know, and he finds that, and I really dug it. It gave me goosebumps. Just absolutely bad ass. Now, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the final track off DEADTHRONE's Premonitions, and it is just okay. I'm not gonna say anything else. You guys are gonna hear what an epic tune this is. Crank it up one last time. This has been DEADTHRONE's album Premonitions here on the Harder Show Music Reviews, and this is the final track off that record. This is 7 Years.
grass is growing, but at the end of the road there's a dawning. And if we fade away, well, at least we can say that we went down fighting.
I had a feeling, I had this gut feeling somewhere inside me that said, I think we're going to hear a return, kind of that really cool, interesting kind of like harmony part, that ambient harmony part and feel. I kind of had this weird gut feeling that we were going to hear something similar to that again. And it literally gave me goosebumps. Seconds into this song, I knew I was going to be blown away. And I will definitely be asking Chris about lyrical content when he is on the show. You can hear in Chris's voice, this song is just, it's super heavy to him. You can hear it in his voice. Like, you can't deny the emotion in his voice in this song. It's heavy as hell. And you can feel that through the headphones. And I'm kind of speechless on it because I'm one to, as someone who, like, you know, used to write a lot of lyrics and really prided myself on just being real and just, hey, I'm not someone who writes these really well-crafted songs that have all these great hooks and all this stuff. I just wrote shit that was real to me. You know, I feel that, and I feel like this has got to be a really heavy record for him, and I feel like that this song especially has got to be a heavy song for him. Maybe I'm picking up the wrong vibe on that, but that's what I get, because you can hear it. It's either an incredible vocal performance or it's just real. I mean, either way, it's an incredible vocal performance, but to me, when something's really real to the artist, you can feel it. You can really feel it through your headphones. And man, killer song lyrically, vocally. I've talked so much about the vocals. Instrumentation wise, you know, Sam and Ben really kill it on this track. They kill it on the whole record, man. Just big shouts to them for just being badass, kind of laying down that covering fire for the vocals. And Chris as well. He's a badass guitar player. Very haunting, kind of paired with the creepy harmony part. I don't really know what to call it. It's like that, again, that little like voice throughout the song. You hear it and it kind of tricks you into thinking it's the melody again. It does it again. And then it's like, oh, just kidding, it's this. And, you know, ending off kind of a little almost a cappella style with James wrapping up the record. I'm kind of speechless on it, man, because it feels like this journey that was, you know, a heavy journey. And, you know, now I feel good. I have goosebumps at the end of this record. And I didn't know what I was expecting, how to feel at the end of this record. I was hoping I'd feel fulfilled. I was hoping I'd feel like I had just been on a journey, and I feel that. And I feel like if I could show you guys right now, because I'd heard the song earlier, obviously, but I listened to every single one of these songs with you guys. So I just like to do that now to really get a feel for how the podcast is going to turn out. And like, I have goosebumps, man. Just, something about this track really resonates with me, and I can't really put my finger on it. I think it's the vocal performances, just the performance of all the guys. I think it just really brings it all together, and it really puts a bow on the record perfectly, where it leaves you maybe wanting a little more in a good way. It makes me want to be like, okay, when's their next record coming out? While still feeling fulfilled. I feel like I just, you know, had a good meal. And I always talk about this on the show, and I always have all these stupid little comparisons I make. When you are talking about an EP, you want to show the world what you can do. Okay, hey world, here's our 3 to 6 best songs. Here's what we can do. Here's what you can expect from us. And it's like, okay, cool. When I listen to an EP, I want to, at the end of the EP, I want to feel good, but I want to be wanting more. It's like, okay, you gave me, 3 to 6 of your songs, and they're good. Now I want more. Where's the rest? You know what I'm saying? Whereas with an album, I want to be fulfilled. I want to go like, holy shit, what a great listen, what a great experience. You know, while still, it's still okay to just want, like, it's like, oh man, I can't wait for the next one. Not like with an EP where, like, to me, it's like, hey, where's the next one? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to explain to me. But I compare it to, like, an EP's like a nice appetizer. You know, maybe like some nice, it's a good appetizer. Here's the fat guy talking about food on the music podcast again. You know, like a nice potato skins or nice. I'm a big fan of breaded pickles myself personally, so let's go with breaded pickles. Whereas an album is supposed to be like the entree. You know, it's the main course. This, at the end of it, I want to feel good. Maybe I want a little dessert, but that's okay. But it's not like after my meal, I'm going, okay, where's my second entree? Like, I don't want that, and I don't feel that at the end of this record. I feel good. I still have goosebumps, and it's such a cool feeling. And I haven't gotten this feeling from a record in a while. And I'm not just blowing smoke either. If I could show you guys my goosebumps, I totally would. It's moments like this I wish that, I could do video podcasting as well. But to kind of wrap up my talk about this record here, I always like to kind of give like a little bow tie on everything. It's kind of a nice little, it's like, when you're wrapping a package, I like to put the bow on it. It is a sound like unlike anyone else in the genre is what DEADTHRONE bring to the table on Premonitions. Blistering riffs, heavy drums, grooves for days, haunting ambient music, soaring cleans, deep, dark, rough vocals, and a combination that cannot be compared to anything else. My personal favorite song, I think I gotta go with Soothsayer, man. I really dig Soothsayer, but also, I don't know. Man, this is hard. I got three. Okay, I'll give you three songs. I love Revival. I love Soothsayer. And I love 7 Years. I think, as far as a feel, what made me... And I mean, I love Feel, too, by the way, as well. I played that song on repeat for a long goddamn time when it came out. I don't know, man. I always like to kind of pick one track as my favorite. This is hard. I think just actually giving off of... Now that I'm really thinking about it, as far as the song that is like, being added to my playlist, it's hard because Feel's already on there. Revival's already on there. I'm adding 7 Years for sure. And I'm adding Soothsayer. So I think I'm just going to have to say those four, man. I don't know. 7 Years really made me feel cool. Really made me feel something. So I think performance-wise, 7 Years is my favorite. As far as an overall song, I think Soothsayer. But that's hard. But let me know what you thought of the record. Hit me up anytime on the social media. We have Facebook and Instagram. You can also hit me up via Gmail at thehardershow@gmail.com. Would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this record. Let me know what you thought of my, my review of it. I know that one thing people always give me crap for, and I just think it's ridiculous. I don't know why I'm on a tangent about this tonight so much, but I keep things positive. And to me, I have nothing negative to say about this record. So, like, why would I? Oh, well, real reviewers point out the faults. Okay, good for them. I don't hear any faults in this, so why would I make up faults to... Oh, yeah, I agree with TJ. I think that, the bass section on track 7 at 5 minutes in is just not on par. It's like, what the fuck, shut up. What are you doing? Like, I can't stand people who review music who, number one, they're not musicians. That pisses me off no end. A lot of them aren't. Don't get me wrong, there's some of them out there. They're not musicians, and I'm sure they're wonderful musicians. But to me, yeah, I play guitar. And yeah, I understand a little bit about writing, and I write lyrics, and, I understand a little bit about vocal melody and stuff like that, but I've never had a hit freaking record. I've never even really recorded anything. So who the hell am I to sit here and be like, I found the chord progression change in Revival to just not be what I would have personally gone with. Like, shut up. What are you doing? Like, just... I don't know. But this record has been very well received by everybody. Every review I've read on it, everyone's loved it. Just like I hope you did. Again, would love to hear from you. And as well as be sure to hit up the boys in DEADTHRONE. Shouts to them. Thank you guys very much for allowing me the opportunity to share your music with my listeners. I have loved doing this, and I hope you guys loved listening to it. Be sure to check them out on Facebook and Instagram. Check them out. I'm sure they will be hopefully announcing a tour soon. I know that they're kind of looking at that. Shouts to Chris, who is kind of the guy I talk to in the band all the time. Hoping to get him on the show very, very soon. Keep your eyes out for that. I will be. We got a bit of a time difference to work with as well, so that's a lot of the reason why we've had such a hard time, because my schedule wasn't really allowing me to do an interview. I would have had to been doing it like 4 a.m, and he would have been doing it at like, I think we're 11-hour difference, something in that ballpark. So basically, it'd be the afternoon for him, it'd be really early in the morning for me. I can't remember exactly the time difference, but either way, shouts to the guys. Shouts to you for listening. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave a follow, leave a like, tell your friends, all that fun stuff. I'm hoping to really kind of make this comeback after my hiatus a success. And, having people like you listen to the show makes it a success to me already. So even if only 5 people listen to the show, if you 5 enjoy it, that's all that matters to me. And, I think that I really am digging the new sound of the show, having that new intro, having kind of a couple new little random things thrown in there. It's a bit of a departure today. It's kind of bittersweet letting go of that old intro, because Brandon presented that to me like, oh, geez. Definitely, it had to have been almost 2.5 years ago or so now. And he just pulled it out of nowhere, and I love that intro, and I still love it, but, must move forward. Always forward. What's that thing? Always, I think it's always forward. Always forward, forward, always. I can't remember what it's from. Let me know if you know what that's from, because I can't freaking remember. It's from a movie or something, but either way, I'm starting to ramble on, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Thank you guys so very much again for the support. You know it means the world to me. Share this with all your friends. I appreciate the hell out of it. Again, shout out to the guys in DEADTHRONE, Chris, James, Sam, and Benj. Thank you guys so very much for allowing me the opportunity to talk about your record. Wish you guys all the success in the world. Do not sleep on DEADTHRONE. They are badass. And when they are like the biggest freaking metalcore band in the world, you're going to want to be like, I heard them on the Harder Show. God damn it. I don't know why you have like a slight southern accent, but I don't know. That's what we do here on the Harder Show. We have fun here. Anyway, I'm going to sign off here, guys. Thank you so very much again, and I will catch you next time on the Harder Show. Take it easy, guys.